are up early, Mike Morand. Good morning.
Every morning, and it turns out the dog is up too.
Did you take him out yet?
Yeah, he was out. He's going to
Okay.
join us apparently. So
Listen, this show like dogs and children
yeah,
because we know you're up early. Kids is up, dogs are up. That's what it is. How you doing?
doing okay. It's
How you
great.
feeling?
Doing good.
Yeah.
It's a spring day today, going up to
It,
45.
woohoo! People gonna be in shorts, Mike
Right?
Moran.
How you doing?
I'm good. Listen, I like this time of day. I like this morning. I like it. You know, when I get off here, I run up to school, so
Yeah.
it's good. So, all right. So you are the leader at the Beinecke, and you're on the. Is it a whole commission for the
Yeah,
250th
there's a
celebration?
commission that the mayor appointed. There's a whole bunch of us that Kim Futrell from the city and myself are the co-chairs of. Has lots and lots of people from throughout town, all kinds of people.
And so what are we doing? It's the 250 semi-quincentennial?
Semi-quincentennial is one way of saying it, although that's fairly long word. So America 250, it tends to be what everybody goes with. So we can use America 250 for this purpose. And I think you'll hear most people, and we've called it New Haven's America 250 Commission. You see Connecticut America 250, and the national one also calls it America 250.
So what are we celebrating? What 250 years of what?
Well, I think it's important to say there is celebration in this. You know, the nation is turning 250 years old. There's been some great things. The original Declaration of Independence has some really great things in it that have stood the test of time. So there will be a celebration, but it's not only celebration. We're going to be commemorating, thinking about what was right, what wasn't done right, what needs to be done. So I want to be clear that it is celebration, but it's not only celebration. So that's important. And there's a whole lot that we're going to do. I don't want to get into too much detail because, as you and I have talked about, we're going to have a sort of public launch of this later this month. The anniversary of the city's incorporation as a city comes on January 21st. So we're looking to do something led by the mayor with members of the commission, other people around town who are doing this, where we'll do a sort of public launch of what's going to be going on this year, beginning in February through September. So it doesn't just go to July 4th, it'll go beyond that. There's going to be a whole lot of things going on, and they're going to be big things on the green in the International Festival and other things going on in the city. So there'll be things to hear about from them. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be really exciting things with both local people as well as national people. There's going to be things done by the Yale Native American Study Group. In March, it's going to be really important with a group in NYU, Native American group there, that's doing a national conference based here in New Haven about what it meant, the Declaration. The Declaration of Independence was great in many ways, but it had some things in it that are very serious about Native American tribes then and now. So they're going to be thinking about what that meant in 1776, but also what it means on an ongoing basis. So some real honest looking. There's going to be a number of exhibitions, one of which is already up, an exhibition at the Yale Art Gallery that looks at how the revolution was done 50 and 100, 150 years later. So sort of what the celebration looked like in 1826, 1876, to get us thinking about what it means to be doing this 250 years later. Beinecke is going to have an exhibit, New Haven Museum is going to have an exhibit, more to come on both of those and other exhibitions around town. And then there's going to be a lot of things. I really got to give a shout out to the public library. And again, not going to give all the details, but just get everybody excited and to hear more from the public library. Is going to have more than 20 events across all of the locations of the public library, including the main library and the 4 neighborhood branches, that will culminate in a really exciting event on the green in June. So more to come about that, but really going to be exciting. And again, there's going to be things that people can go and just sit and listen. People can go and participate. We've got some things we're not quite ready to announce yet, but that will have people ability to participate in making things. And they'll be able to go and dance. They'll be able to go complain, all kinds of things. So we're really excited. And we've got, I'm not going to share it with you in detail, but I did print out, this is our list here, which I showed quickly so it doesn't stay, but it's 6 pages of, 12-point type of things going on. So we've got a lot going on in town, and that's not even everything. So we're still collecting things, and we'll have a lot more to announce when the public launch comes with the mayor, and we'll continue to announce things throughout the year.
So
So
everybody in America,
that's sorry, I gave you more than one word.
I love that. Other places around the country are doing this too, right? Like
Yeah.
this is a national
Yeah.
celebrate, a national.
I think of this a little bit. If you think about the eclipse not too long ago, about a year before the eclipse, only people locally like Marianne Ott, who really knows everything about the stars, thought about it and was telling people, this is coming, this is coming. And people began to pay attention, but most people didn't really pay attention. By the time the eclipse came, everybody had their glasses on. And this is going to be a thing like that. And it's not all going to be, again, some people will be hip hip hooray, some will be complaining, there'll be all kinds of things. And that's not new either. If you look in 1976, last time there was a big national celebration, you and I were both around, we're old enough to have been here in the bicentennial, there was celebration, but there was complaints. There was, the nation was not a unified place in any way in 1976. The president had left 2 years before. So it was a bitter time in some ways and a celebratory time in other ways. And I think that's what we're going to be in 2026 as well. So stay tuned, be involved, get involved in various ways, do what you can do.
So, do you think 250 years is from where we were to where we are? Is now a good time to sort of look at that history, like because the mood of the country right now is
part of the in a historical basis. You don't choose what time you are in the time that you're in, and you have to do it. So I don't sort of look at it in some ways. Is it good? Is it bad? But I think it is good in many ways because the fact that we're not together means that we should think about what we can do to talk to people who may not agree with us, what we can do to argue with people, what we can do to move things forward, and to figure out how we got here. 250 years is a really long time. And New Haven is one of the great places, all of the original 13 colonies, but New England had a lot to play. The first bullets were fired in 1775 in Lexington and Concord. The Massachusetts troops were the first, but the second people were people from Connecticut and Rhode Island. So we were in early on the fighting in the war, and we were there from the beginning in terms of setting out the nation. And think about the Declaration of Independence. Roger Sherman, the first mayor of New Haven, who is one of the greats, who's going to be a major feature that we feature in this 2026 year. And again, not just to celebrate Roger Sherman, but to look at him and to think about what he had to say, see how it holds up today, how it may continue to guide us, how it may not be the best thing to guide us. But Roger Sherman played a really important role. So we have an important role locally that we can really lay claim to in thinking about what America is and what America can be. And the America that can be is an important part of this whole thing.
So do you use this time, Michael, to sort of include all the moving parts that may not have been centered in the bicentennial and the Jubilee and all the things? Like, does it become more prevalent?
We're going to try and be as inclusive as possible. The commission itself has people that range from the city librarian, Maria Burney, to Madeline Negron, the superintendent of schools, to people who are not in city government, from the New Haven Museum, Lost in New Haven, all kinds of places that are doing things. So we can have a lot of people involved in this and include everybody through other organizations. The key organizations include the various historic groups, but it also includes the International Festival and all of its collaborators. So we'll try and have as much of a place. And when I talk about like the 6-page list, it's not like Kim and I and the commission are running these things. This is in many ways collecting work that people all around the community are doing. So it's not like we're saying, here it is, do this. Rather, we're bringing all these things together, laying them out for people to take part in. But taking part in it means, as you're noting, not everybody can say, I was there. Some of us didn't have people who were here. My own people didn't come here until the 1800s. Other people were here, but they were not fully inscribed and part of the nature of the place. We're not citizens, we're enslaved, or we're not free in other ways. So all of those things we need to grapple with, what it meant, what it means. And again, it's not merely to say this happened in 1776 or before 1776, but this happened. What does it mean for us today? So we're going to do what we can to make sure that this is open to everybody, that it's happening in all kinds of places. It's happening on the green, on campus, in the neighborhoods, in all parts of the city, that people can participate in, beginning in February. Lots and lots of things, as I mentioned, at the New Haven Free Public Library, lots and lots of things being done by the New Haven Museum, who's already begun to do this, and many people have begun to do things already. So there's going to be a lot of different things people can participate in, and we encourage everybody to if they've got an idea, to see what they can do to make it happen.
So in building this commission and y'all talking about how this is going to go down, did you learn anything that you didn't know before, Michael? Like, did anything surprise you that came up in the building out of this celebration learning experience?
Well, this is still an ongoing thing, so I think I'm always learning. I don't know if I've learned a whole lot so far today because I've only been up a little bit, but I probably learned something. But by the time today ends, I'll learn something. So I'm learning new things all the time and remembering things that I had forgotten. But thinking about Roger Sherman, finding the various different things that he's been doing, I knew much about him, but there's much more that I've learned about him. And I think everybody getting involved in this, 1776 is a long time ago. So there's a lot to remember. And I was thinking, actually, so maybe I have learned some things or thought about some things this morning. I was sort of thinking about what did it look like in 1776? Our city had certain things that are similar to today. The green existed, houses were around there. There's a couple buildings that exist now. I think there's 2 buildings that exist now that were there in 1776. But there's a lot that wasn't here at the time, and a lot that was here that's not here. The green was a major center, but the harbor was a much bigger center of day-to-day life for many, many people than it is today. So thinking about what that means and what the city literally looked like, people weren't driving around in cars. So how did they go from place to place, walking and on a horse and others? So I have, I think about those things. But in the big picture, there's a lot to think about who was here, who was not here, who was included, who was not included, and how we make a place that everybody can be more included than they were the day before.
Now, do you have conversations with the surrounding towns that are doing their thing around this? I mean, is there some connection or communication regarding
there's
that?
Some connection, and the great thing is the America 250 statewide commission that's run out of Connecticut Humanities, appointed by the governor, led by Denise Merrill and Jason Mancini, is sort of providing a big framework for everybody. So you can go to their website and begin to see things that are happening all around the state. And not so much New Haven yet, because we haven't done our launch, but soon enough, you'll see New Haven things on there as well. So there is a sort of coordinated way of putting information out, but there's also very much a commitment at the state level and at the local level to have things be local and driven by local people.
Mm-hmm. And so when is the launch? When are you launching? When are you letting people know?
January 21st, we're looking to have a launch.
Okay. And so everybody will be at
this thing? You'll be invited, although you may not be able to be there. But we'll make sure you get all the news. And I want to come back maybe on January 22nd if I can.
Yes, of course you can come back. You
talk
get
a
up
little
early.
bit more about things that people can actually mark down in their calendars. That'll be in February, in March, in April, in June, in July, August, and September. So there's going to be a lot of this, and encourage everybody to do what they can, to do as much as you can. But if it's only 1 or 2 things, that's fine too.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And so these kinds of things, will they be free? Will they have a cost? Will they?
Most things are free. There's some things that are ticketed and paid, but most are going to be free.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And again, this is, again, we're not running many of these things. We're encouraging people to participate in things that New Haven Museum is doing a great thing. This place is doing a great thing. This place is doing a great thing. The public library is part of the commission, but they're doing these various events themselves. So we've pulling together a great, we're really being a commission, as it were, but pulling together a great list of people, a list of things that people are doing throughout town. But most of them are free, and most of them probably don't even involve registration. Some of them will require registration, but are free, and then there's a very few that are paid.
And so is there a big party at the end of this, like fireworks, something?
I mean, the city will be the sort of, lead the thing with fireworks, as they do every year. So more to come about that. The July 4th is, and again, we're not thinking of that as the final. There's a bunch of things on July 5th, bunch of things on July 8th, and things into September. So it's not going to end on July 4th. But July 4th is obviously the big day. So we will have a number of things. And one thing we can sort of encourage people who are up early and want to go to something at 9 a.m. There's been a ceremony at the grave of Roger Sherman, who's buried here. So one of the signers of the Declaration of Independence, who was the first mayor of New Haven, as well as many other things. So there's been for many, many years this ceremony led by the Sons of the American Revolution at 9 a.m. and then the fireworks at night. And during the day, people can think about various things to do, and would encourage people to take a look. And again, stay tuned to hear more what's going to be going on in Hartford, which is going to have a whole bunch of things. We've talked to people in Hartford. So some people may want to get up, go to something in New Haven. And then if you want to go up to Hartford on the train or drive up there and enjoy some of the things in Hartford, and then come back here. So lots of different things can be done.
Are you doing the annual oration of Frederick Douglass's?
We are, and you should mark it down in your calendar. We're going to do it. Typically, we've done it on July 5th, which was the anniversary of Frederick Douglass's day. This time, we're going to do it on July 8th. We're going to do the Declaration of Independence, as we always do, as well as the Declaration of Sentiments from Seneca Falls, the women's great declaration, Frederick Douglass's 1852 oration, William Grimes. So we're going to do all those things. We're going to do it on July 8th, which is the actual 250th anniversary of the first reading of the Declaration of Independence. Oh. It was printed on July 4th, but the first time it was read anywhere was on July 8th. So this year we're going to do it, and we trust we'll include you and all the other great people. We'll do it at Beinecke. We'll either do it inside or outside. We'll decide on if it's going to be a larger crowd than we've had. We may look to do it outside.
Mm-hmm. And are you always surprised? Are you ever surprised at how many people attend this? I'm always surprised.
I'm not really. I mean, I've been doing this for a while, but I'm always cheered to see that there's a lot of people who come. There's people who come year after year, and then there's new people. And the people who come are of all different stripes and backgrounds. So that I really do like that. And that's really what we're aiming for in this, is to include everybody who can possibly be included and make a space for them to participate and really have a role in it.
Well, thank you for getting up early, Mike.
Thanks for having me.
I appreciate you. I'll see you on the 22nd if you want to come back.
Okay, let's do it.
Enjoy the rest of your day.
Same to you. Bye.
All right. We're getting geared up for 250 years of celebrating the Declaration of Independence. Thank you so much. Thank you, Harry. All right. Have a good day, everybody.